Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we're tackling the question of, is Path of Exile 3.17 a dead league? Is it over? Is it worth playing anymore? And quickly answer the question. The answer is no. The long answer is kinda, but it doesn't really matter, so the answer is still no. So the rest of the videos we talk about why I think that, why people are getting this idea, and stuff like that. If you got the kind of content, I want to see some more Path of Exile videos in the future, so remember to click like, subscribe, comment down below, check out my Twitch description link in the description below as well. So first thing we need to talk about when we talk about is 3.17 a dead league, we have to look at the retention numbers for the league. So this is important because, see, I got 1 year chart of this is just Steam numbers, so a little bit skewed. I know they're not perfect, but it's the best we got, so bear with me here. The biggest problem we have is that we are 2 months into the league, almost exactly today. We have 20,000 people, which seems pretty good, but that's a huge drop from the, well, this is an all-time peak. Remember this too, this is an all-time peak they hit at the beginning of this league. And dropped down to 20k. The problem is that other leagues, 2 months in the future, had much better numbers. This league, 2 months in the future, 28, 44, and 3.16. It's actually somewhere in here, but 20 is really, really low, comparatively. So just keep this chart in mind while we're talking about this and why this league particularly had such a high spike and then an immediate drop off, whereas the other leagues are more well-rounded and curved. Okay, keep that in mind. I'm going to jump into a map just to do some farming while we got this going on, get some background stuff. But I'll continue talking while we got this going on. We're going to talk about, next one I'll start is, why was there such a dramatic drop in players? Like, we've never seen a drop this bad from such a peak, right? The biggest thing was probably the launch of Elden Ring, launch of Lost Ark, etc. Both those games pulled not just Path of Exile players, just gamers in general away. Pretty bad timing for GGG on the release date. They didn't budge on it like they have before with Cyberpunk. And I don't think they really cared. One of my big breakthroughs, and then we'll get to, is that I don't think they cared that this league flopped or had a bad retention rate. So that's the big elephant in the room. That was a problem. Some people say it's not. That was definitely a problem. Definitely caused bad retention. Okay. Secondly, bad league mechanic. Nobody's doing the league mechanic anymore. Not because it's not, well, because it's not fun. Because it's not good, it's not fun, it's not rewarding. The UI was terrible. They had to fix it once to make it, like, usable. And it still isn't very good. Sweet. Exalt. Okay. You do that sort of stuff and it just makes the game not fun. Other things in the league, they didn't add any new abilities, so people who like logged in and they make one character, they're like, oh, I just do the same thing I did last league. There wasn't any major nerfs, any major buffs. We talk about bows a little bit, cast from hand a little bit, but I don't think either of those are enough to move the needle on a particular playstyle. So we ended with a league that was just basically the same. No new abilities. And the last thing I think is, I personally think Omniscience really, really made the game simplified, so people got to endgame builds, endgame damage levels a lot faster than normal. I think that item's a problem in general, which I'll be talking about later in a video I'm going to do about like buffs and nerfs I want to see in 3.18. That'll be on the list due to this reason. It simplified the game too much, so people didn't need to invest as much time, retention, which would in hand cause retention to go down. If you get a min-max build or one that clear all content pretty easily, you're not going to play as much. Just not. Okay. So those are the big problems, right? Those are the big problems that I saw. So retention was bad, but this is where I'm going to get to, does it matter? No, absolutely not. If you're still having fun, first of all, keep playing the game. I'm still, this is kind of what I'm doing, I'm just farming maps now. Just having fun. Trading might be a little more difficult just because there's less people, might be more expensive because a lot of people left or people have been playing a long time this league already now. But it doesn't make the game less fun, in my opinion, so I'd say just keep going for it. But this league was necessary regardless, right? It didn't matter that the retention was bad. The league had to be done. It fixed so many problems going forward. We got a new Atlas. Got new Atlas passives, which is a lot better. The new Atlas is a lot better. Gets rid of watch stone jumping to complete your game. Consider all that sort of stuff. And people are really taking that for granted. It's like, my opinion at this point in the league is this is like a beta test for base Path of Exile going forward. I think there's going to be a lot of changes in nerfs going into the next league that we had to get sorted out now to figure out what was too powerful, what's not powerful enough, stuff like that, before they could even start thinking about adding other things to the game, like a more in-depth league. So, a lot of problems were fixed, I think. And the complete endgame overhaul is fantastic. All that sort of stuff. And yeah, this really did just feel like a beta for 3.18 and expansions going forward. 3.18, we should get a bunch of buffs, nerfs, fixes to things in the Atlas passive, the Atlas tree, that didn't go perfectly the way they expected them to. And we should get a very in-depth, much better, well-thought-out league mechanic next league. So that is huge. That being said, why I say none of this matters, and why if you're still having fun playing 3.17, just keep playing 3.17. Who cares, right? There's still things to do. I know a lot of people, like myself, I'm doing like things where I farm stuff and try and figure out like what's most profitable, what I'm having fun doing, stuff like that. Other things you can do is like challenges. I'm not a huge fan of completing challenges, getting 40-40, but those are still out there. There's still a ton of things to do in the game. It's to say that it is completely dead would be wrong, but I get where people are coming from. If you play Trade League specifically, it's close to over. We still have Gauntlet coming up tomorrow. I won't be playing. I don't like the 10-day league like that. I know I just won't stay up long enough to play it. To play it well, I guess. So that's where I come from for that. So yeah, in the end, League was really good. All the changes were good. We just didn't have the retention, mainly due to other games, mainly due to there not being much actual new stuff other than the end game that sets up a base for every new league going forward. I think, regardless of what you think of this league, that was the most important thing they accomplished, and we're good to go for 3.18. So, if you like this video, let me know. If you got a little rambly at the end there, leave a comment down below. Let me know. Other than that, click like, click subscribe, leave a comment down below. We have more Path of Exile videos coming in the future. Thanks. Bye.